I was in the Navy Seabees construction battalion, and the whole time I was in, we were constantly told, take care of your brother, make sure they show up for muster, no man left behind, everybody's heard it. And when I got out of the military, I just didn't think that it ended for me, so I still kept in track with as many of my military friends as I could. And since I was a kid, I was kind of obsessed with like wagon trains going west, and I wanted some of that, I wanted some of that discovery. About 2 years ago, I finally worked up the nerve to ask my wife for permission, and she said that she'd back me on it, but I should choose a cause and walk for a cause. When 22 veterans commit suicide every day, it was kind of a no-brainer for me, so that's why I chose that. And as far as the path I'm taking it, there was just a few big cities and a few other sites like the Grand Canyon and Colorado Springs that I wanted to see, and I just kind of wing it between the different places. We pick our routes every morning and just try to stay in populated areas so we can spread awareness for people. The biggest challenge I wasn't really expecting was just being lonely all the time. Molly helps with that, and now that Mom's walking with me, that helps a little, quite a bit. But otherwise, I'd be sitting here, for a day or two or three, depending on the weather, completely by myself, and only have people that were asking questions about her or questions about my cart to talk to. It's actually really lonely. Physical challenges, I would say, the Smoky Mountains were crazy physically challenging, climbing those every day.
I'd watch him on some of his live, and then I couldn't watch him anymore because he'd be on such small roads with the traffic, and the fog would be so thick, and I'd just like,
And narrow roads with no shoulder, really a lot of turnbacks, or whatever they're called, going up the mountains. It was pretty scary. There were several times where I thought I was about to get clipped. During the course of the first 2 months of me walking, the idea of walking down the Natchez Trace Parkway became the idea. So that's where we started. That's where I met her. And within 3 days, we got off of it because it's so desolate of people and water and food, and it's like a green desert, really.
We were caught in a storm out in the middle of nowhere. We
caught
just
in a real bad rainstorm out there, just standing in the road with no shelter.
With lightning and everything, and I told him, I said, let's jump this trace. Man, we did. We went right up beside the hill and found a church that let us spend the night. Johnson's Baptist
Chapel. Yeah.
Chapel, right.
Let us stay there.
And so the next morning we got up and we hadn't been back on the trace since.
Yeah, we trying to go through towns so we can talk to people and kind of spread the awareness and get media sources to come out and talk to us.
You say you're 39, is that right?
38.
38.
I'll be at 39 on the 4th of July.
And I hate to...
I don't mind telling you at all. I'll be 73 in August.
The first day we walked together, we walked 5, but it was because we had a family breakfast with my wife and kids and my sister and my niece. At the very end at the Loveless Cafe.
Yeah, very nice people.
Yeah. And then I think we got started about 10 o'clock, so we only made 5 miles the first day. I think we made 8 miles the second day, and it was killing you.
Yeah, the second day I was just about to cry, and I told him I might just have to tell Janice to come back and get me. And he said, no, let's go till tomorrow. And I said, all right, and then I've not thought about going back since.
Yeah, and ever since then we've done 10, 11, or 12 miles a day. A website, supportjoe.com, that anybody can go to and donate. We also have Facebook. I do plan on, or at least I'm entertaining the idea of writing a book about my journey. But, I'm not trying to do any of this for myself, really. If it rolls into something else, that'd be great. I think that I want to continue to help veterans from here on out. I think that's probably turned into my calling. Every day at 7 we try to do a live broadcast if we have signal on Facebook to talk about the places we've been and people that we talk to. The biggest surprises is how generous people are to perfect strangers. Colonel Dave took us in for 2 days and 2 nights, not knowing us from anybody, you know, and let us stay in his guest room and fed us every meal and wouldn't let us pay for our own stuff when we went out to different places with him.
Yeah.
This is the Heritage Heritage RV Park and Campground in what town is this?
Oh my goodness.
In Etheridge, Tennessee. I'm sorry, we go through so many little towns. They let us stay here. They said as long as we need to for free. They gave us keys to the bathrooms and the Wi-Fi password, and from here we're going to be headed down to Lawrenceburg.
Lawrenceburg, your town.
And we should be there in a day. So tomorrow morning we'll wake up in Lawrenceburg.
Are these the same shoes you started out with?
No, I'm on my 3rd pair. I seem to go through about a pair a month.
These are the ones I started out with, but I've only gone about 70-something miles, so.
And I want to ask you, how many times have people brought up Forrest Gump? Because he did his walk, you know.
Yeah, every conversation I have, Forrest Gump's mentioned in some way. People will yell out the window, "Run, Forrest!" Or they'll be like, "Oh, so you're pulling a Forrest Gump, huh?" And we'll be like, "Well, I'm not running." And he did it 4 times. He went back and forth 4 times in the movie, and
that's Hollywood.
Yeah,
he didn't really do it.
Right.
When we do get to Mississippi, it will be Joe's birthday,
Yeah,
and it will also be
it'll be right around the 4th of July, and it'll be my 1,000-mile mark.
1,000-mile mark, 1/3 of the way.
You gonna take a day or 2 off, or?
Probably, especially if my wife and kids come down, because they'll come down and then they'll want to go on home from there. But if they come down, then quit. I know I need a shower. I know. Then they'll come down and there's plenty of room at my brother and sister's houses for them to stay.